You saw the comments from Senator Elizabeth Warren. It's not the first time that she said it, but she wants more scrutiny to protect investors. That's going to continue till Gensler and company address it to some extent. Maybe that'd be good if they finally do.
I think when Gary finally addresses it, it will be good. Listen, he would love to regulate all the crypto. He doesn't have the mandate, right? He needs Congress to give him the mandate, and it's a pretty tight Congress. We'll see what they end up doing. But I think even if you had the mandate, once you had the rules, I think that would be a relief for the market. Listen, the one thing we learned, and we're going to spend a lot more time ourselves down in DC, our politicians, as smart as they are, know very, very little about crypto. And, shame on our industry. We need to do a better job educating them.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on cryptocurrency every day. My name's Austin. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren has just given the SEC a July 28th deadline to figure out cryptocurrency regulation in a direct letter to SEC Chair Gary Gensler. As a cryptocurrency hodler, I want to share with you the original source material, take you through select excerpts of Elizabeth Warren's letter, but I must say it is somewhat fitting that on the exact same day, Altcoin Daily drops the interview, How Regulation Will 100x Cryptocurrency in 2021 and Beyond. Very informative interview. Seek this out, watch it if you haven't already. And like always, check the timestamps down below in the video description. And let's jump in. Crypto skeptic U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, who chairs the Senate Banking Committee's Subcommittee on Economic Policy, gave a direct quote saying, "The lack of common sense regulations has left ordinary investors at the mercy of manipulators and fraudsters. The SEC must use its full authority to address these risks, and Congress must also step up to close these regulatory gaps." Okay, she's asking for the SEC to use their full authority. And it's clear, for better or for worse, mass adoption is happening. I really did like what Mike Novogratz said on CNBC, that we need to educate. These senators that are watching the adoption, they're seeing the interest grow. They're worried because they don't quite understand what cryptocurrency is. And we need to educate. Elizabeth Warren, if you're watching, I want you to comment down below. This channel, great jumping off point. And for you at home, already a subscriber, let me read you a few of Elizabeth Warren's concerns she addressed in this letter to the SEC. The increased use of cryptocurrency exchanges presents unique risks to consumers. Although they describe themselves as cryptocurrency exchanges, these platforms lack the same types of basic regulatory protections as traditional national security exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. And this one to me is sort of tricky because unlike the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, cryptocurrency exchanges are global. And they're having an issue saying, how do we regulate that? And even though these exchanges may share features of traditional securities exchanges, such as bringing together buyers and sellers, executing trades, and displaying prices, cryptocurrency exchanges may be able to escape federal regulation if the digital asset being traded does not qualify as a security under federal law, which is the majority of altcoins, unfortunately, in the regulator's eyes. Bitcoin's cleared, Ethereum's cleared. A lot of other altcoins are in this sort of purgatory. And because she doesn't quite understand, she is concerned for citizens. The lack of regulation ensures that investors have no way of knowing whether the trading volume and prices that exchanges report reflect real activity or market manipulation. In order to receive a higher ranking on these sites that list cryptocurrency exchanges, many exchanges routinely fake their volumes to attract more coins and users. One study indicated that 95% of the volume of trading of Bitcoin listed on CoinMarketCap, which is a website is fake and or non-economic in nature. The list goes on, she makes more points, and to be fair, I would agree with her in this sense that many of the exchanges out there do fake their volume to attract more users. It's unfortunate, but that is true, and that is because there are no regulators to check them. Sort of a double-edged sword, because I agree with her on some things, and in other ways, I think she just doesn't quite understand the differences between a Bitcoin or an Ethereum or a random low-cap altcoin. Give me your thoughts down below. She has given the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, until July 28th to give her an answer. We'll see. I'll keep you updated, but let's keep moving. Next piece of news for Bitcoin. Square to build a Bitcoin hardware wallet. We're doing it, tweeted Jack Dorsey, the fintech's CEO. And if you are a hodler, this is what you like to see. The infrastructure around the Bitcoin network being built. The company has begun assembling a team to handle the project, said hardware lead Jesse D in a tweet, emphasizing the product is very much in the drawing board stage. Nevertheless, he said Square will seek to bring a mobile-friendly, assisted self-custody wallet to a global audience. And why this matters to you, because I like Trezor, I like Ledger, those are the top wallets we have today. But Square, much more of a name brand globally, which could do a lot for adoption. In a direct quote from Jack Dorsey, "We have decided to build a hardware wallet and service to make Bitcoin custody more mainstream. We're doing it." And like I said, what this means to you, Square's status as a mainstream fintech would likely inject new attention into Bitcoin custody. It has much wider name recognition than even the best-known hardware builders in the crypto industry today. Big fundamental green flag. My only slight concern is what is with this assisted self-custody, because the beauty of Bitcoin is we don't need third parties. We can custody the value ourselves. But I'm going to keep digging, because I do acknowledge that there is a certain percent of the population that probably doesn't have an interest in taking that responsibility. So we'll have to see. Give me your thoughts down below, but let's keep moving. Next piece of news for Cardano. The 5-year game plan for Cardano has been unveiled, targeting banks and Fortune 500 companies. And for me, I do tend to take this with somewhat of a grain of salt, because Cardano does tend to push back deadlines, right? They're in no hurry, but it is interesting in which direction Cardano is headed. The CEO of the Cardano Foundation, so not Charles Hoskinson, but Frederick G., who is in charge of their foundation, says onboarding mainstream financial institutions and large corporations is part of a 5-year growth strategy. In a direct quote on how partnering with banks and corporations will benefit ADA, the token, when we look into 2022, it's not only important, it's vital for our ecosystem, which is built around the native currency of ADA as a utility token. This allows you to operate on our blockchain wherever you are, if you're building a business model, or if you are capturing business value from optimizing business procedures, or if you're building a security token or an NFT, or even if you're just a fisherman in West Africa and you're building an identity. Whatever happens, how you integrate with us always comes over to ADA. So this would benefit token holders. Therefore, onboarding 50 banks becomes very important to us. It should be in a way that if you have a lot of ADA, you can always get into the local fiat currency, and you can always get from a local fiat currency into ADA and over time into whatever other token you may be holding using the Cardano blockchain. Interesting. So Cardano is trying to work with the banks, they're trying to work with the traditional legacy systems, and they're also trying to work with major companies. Onboarding Fortune 500 companies, holding ADA, using ADA, taking Cardano as a protocol, as an infrastructure into the engine room of these large multi-international corporations will show them what it does mean to have real transparency and real immutability around data, and how to change the governance of these companies to optimize what the shareholders really want and not just the next earnings and next quarterly yields. To me, this just reminds me how early we are in this space and how potentially far cryptocurrency can and will go. Next piece of Decentraland and lower cap altcoin news, TrustSwap celebrates their anniversary with a grand opening in Decentraland. I guess this is today, and you can join them as they unveil TrustSwap headquarters in Decentraland, attend for free popes, wearables, and other giveaways. Interesting. Cool to see adoption happening in Decentraland and the types of communities forming there. Now, TrustSwap is celebrating their 1 year. Over this last year, they've done a lot. They have over $1 billion plus in liquidity locked in team finance, over $25 million raised on the TrustSwap launchpad, and much more, over 40 employees, so they are growing. If you're a Decentraland fan, you'll like this. That is the video. My name's Austin. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you check out this interview with Douglas Borthwick, returning guest. Really gives some powerful insight on regulation in this space. And on this channel, we like to hear many different opinions, and it's cool to get Douglas's. So, like always, check it out. See you tomorrow.